So, being released onto the circuit in a few seconds' time is going to be our DD2 competitors for the penultimate race of the day here at Laghi in Italy for round 2 of the Rotax Max Euro Challenge. And this has been the big build-up of the day. Two very quick guys, Paolo Di Conto, who is the form man here at round number 2, and the man, of course, who leads the championship coming to this weekend, the man alongside one to watch out for, Anthony Abbas. So the way the grid lines up then for this penultimate race of the day is going to have Paolo Di Conto from Group A to start from pole. It's going to be Anthony Abbas from Group D, who qualified only 4th yesterday, to start alongside. But what can he take to Paolo throughout this 11-lap race? Back on row 2, it's then going to be Robbie Markkanen, the first of the Markkanen brothers. The second will be out his twin brother in the final heat of the day. And our leading Masters man, Cristiano Magado, a man we just heard from, will start up the front of the field on row number 2. Back on row number 3, it's then going to be Max Hoffa, who we've had some good luck messages coming in for, and alongside him, Henrique Baptista, the Portuguese racer, on row number 3. Row 4 has the likes of Iga Mukin, second in Masters this time round, and it's going to be Luca Kamali to start alongside. Inside the top 10, on row number 5, Pascal Cargier and Fabian Lanz in 10th place. Row 6 then has Lorenzo Van Wright and Samuel Haruska. Row 7, the likes of Kavazi Tamakazu, our Masters winner overall from the first round at Salisbury in France. He'll have another Masters competitor alongside, which is Christoph Adams. And right towards the back of this one, 15th place on the grid, is going to see the likes of Giza Fodor in kart 699. So 11 laps of racing for DD2. Really strong guys towards the front. Another good race, hopefully, on the cards this time round. And the sun continues to shine, which is always a positive thing. And the drivers rearing themselves up on their second warm-up lap now as they head their way down the back straight and in towards the hairpins, ready to get themselves into a little bit of a nice formation here at Laghi.
They're leaving it quite late, aren't they, to get into that 2x2 formation, and they're not slowing down yet. The seniors, we've been seeing them actually be going really, really slow before they even get into the turn 9, the first of the 2 hairpins. But here they're still kind of flying along. They're not in any kind of order, but they're now on the straight as they head from turn 10 to turn 11, and hopefully just enable the rear ones to catch up. And they are just about. They are now in their 2x2 as the marshals just almost bring them to a halt. They had to so much with the cars behind being so far adrift. But here they are, Matt. They're about to head down and hopefully be good enough to take the start.
Yep, so it's going to be Paolo Di Conto to slow down as much as possible. Anthony Abbas draws alongside now. Red lights are already out and away they go. They're just struggling to get away there. And Anthony Abbas has got a gap in the inside line there to get into second place if he wants to do so, which he has. So there was no room left there for anyone else to get in. So Anthony Abbas jumps up into second place as he was on the grid, but he's not hung out to dry on the outside line at turn number 1. Up into third place, we've had, of course, the kart of Max Hoffa, and there's drama at turn 3.
Yeah, they're all stuck together. We got 658, which I think is Fabian Lanz, it is indeed. 629, which is Igor Mukin. Oh, that's not what he'd have wanted. He was hoping for a good performance in the Masters. And 639, which is Henrique Baptista. So, and in fact, Baptista's had to pull out. So they were all tangled up together, got themselves split, but Baptista was not able to rejoin the race, unfortunately.
And most of those were towards the front of the field as well. So it all kicked off around Henrique Baptista. As Chris said, Lorenzo Van Wright also involved in the melee as well, and there was just a touch of the rear wheel there from Paolo Di Conto to say to the man behind him, Anthony Abbas, stay with me for as long as you can. We'll try and build up a margin and have a fight towards the end of this race. They're in third place at the minute. It's going to be Max Hoffa. We've got Cristiano Magado, who sits in 4th place, and a slight move there to see Luca Kamali move ahead of Robbie Markkanen there. So a change for 5th and 6th places, and that's a good start from, by the looks of it, Luca Kamali. Working his way now through the field from 8th on the grid. It's Robbie Markkanen who's had the poorest of the starts, dropping down the field from 3rd on that grid.
So 606 Anthony Abbas, sorry, I was commentating with my microphone, the wire fell out then, but no, it is still Paolo Di Conto in the lead, just about. 606 Anthony Abbas chasing him down, but I think you might be right, Matt, that they may well be just sort of working together to get themselves away from the rest of the group, and then the two of them will join together to have a ding-dong of a battle for the rest of the race.
Yeah, let's hope so. The gap now between second and third is 1.2 seconds. So the gap just gradually growing there between second and third. There's a good scrap going on for third, though. Max Hoffer and Cristiano Magado. So not doing him too much disjustice because he's still right there with the leaders of this race as well. So watch out for Cristiano. He's got behind him at the minute Robbie Markkanen and Luca Kamali there in 6th place. And also joining the mix now is going to be the 7th place man, which is going to be Lorenzo Van Rijn. So Lorenzo has really got up the speed now to catch these top 6 guys, and they're kind of breaking themselves away now with first and second on their own, Paolo Di Conto and Anthony Abbas. And then it's going to be a fight for third place with more and more now starting to join the mix here with just under 8 laps to go, still being led by Max Hoffer at the minute.
Just right timing to talk about Lorenzo van der Rijt, who's got himself up into 7th position. We just had a good luck message from Justin van der Schaft. You picked him, Justin, because he's doing a fabulous job moving himself up the grid. But still in the lead is Paolo Di Conto, but not having the domination that he's had so far in his previous 2 races. He's still being pushed very hard by Anthony Abbas. Max Hoffer in 3rd position. Great performance from 5th on the grid, although that was from the inside. But under massive pressure from 6-2-1, which is Cristiano Magado. He's having a much better run, the master rider there, but is he looking up the inside? And he has indeed, and he's going to take with him, who would he have taken in? Markkanen has gone with him, so Robbie Markkanen has moved up another position as well. Lost out there was Max Hoffer, drops himself back down to 5th position now, so it is absolutely alive even further down. Fabian Lanz unfortunately seems to have dropped out, and Igor Mukin possibly has had to stop as well. They were the 3 that got caught up at the beginning.
Yep, so those 3 have been lost there. There's another move coming this time from Robbie Markkanen, who makes his way past on Cristiano Magado, who fights back at turn number 10, or tries to at the second part of the hairpin, but he loses out. He's going to lose speed as well down the straight in towards turns 11 and 12, and he'll now start to feel the pressure once more from Max Hoffer in that blue and white machine, who comes across the line. He's under attack then from Luca Kamali as well, and also watch out for the man right at the back, Lorenzo Van Rijn at the minute. So these 3 or 4 cars really bunching themselves together. They can't catch the top 2 though, because out front Paolo Di Conto now has managed to pull away from Anthony Abbas. The gap has grown to 3/4 of a second, so all that work they were going to do together to work together to pull away has worked, but now they've done that, Paolo Di Conto has left Anthony Abbas in the distance as well, which is not going to be pleasing him too much throughout this race. But now Anthony Abbas has probably just got to settle for 2nd place and see what happens in front and maybe what happens behind as well.
Yeah, I wonder whether that was, they forgot to tell him, Anthony Abbas, that they were now going to crank it up a little bit. But it is impressive that Di Conto's just been able to find that extra gear from somewhere. Now remember, these karts are 2-speed paddles on the steering wheel shifters, but certainly not supposed to be a 3rd gear, but it's as though he's managed to find one as soon as he wanted to, and off he goes into the distance. But both of them are clear. He knows that Anthony Abbas has managed to shake off the attention of Robbie Markkanen, who sits there in kart 648 in 3rd. Cristiano Magado, fabulous 4th position, and he's one of the masters. That's a really impressive drive. Max Hoffer in 5th, Luca Kamali in 6th, Lorenzo Van Rijn 7th, Christoph Adams in the another master driver sits there in 8th position.
Yep, he certainly does, of course. So watch out for all of those still within this group of karts that work their way through the left-hander at turn at number 10. But Anthony Abbas has got no answer at the minute to Paolo Di Conto. The gap grows this time to near enough at a second between the 2. They come through, and it's confirmed on our screen as 1.020 between those 2 karts. Then there's another 4.3 seconds back to the man who sits there in 3rd place at the minute. And there's going to be a change here possibly for 5th place Max Hoffer, really under attack now from 616, which is Luca Kamali. Luca is now glued to the back of Max Hoffer as they work their way down the back straight for the 8th time of asking. Just under 4 laps now to go, and Max Hoffer is going to be the defensive man in this battle for the next 2 or 3 laps, and he's managing to hold on to it as a 6-sounding kart comes through there.
Samuel Hruska, fortunately going into retirement, no question about that with the noise, and it looked like there was some damage on the side pod there, so cause or effect, I'm not sure, but we'll see. But Max Hoffer is still managing to defend at the moment in that 5th position from Luca Kamali. I think Luca Kamali actually attempted to make that move just a little bit too early as he headed into the first of the complexes, into turn 2, and it just kind of compromised his exit speed into the second part of second complex and then down that back straight. But look, he's now trying to carry that speed through. He's now going to see if he can pressure Max Hoffer into a mistake through the second part, the second complex, turns 4 and 5. but Max Hoffer's a bit too wise to that. So as they disappeared down the back straight in towards turn 6, Max Hoffer was still in control. Nothing was available. Are they going to be able to do anything to turn 7? That's some speed he's taken out. I think he's lining himself up into turn 9. Is he going to be able to? Oh, he certainly had a look, didn't he, as they approached the first of the 2 hairpins, turn 9, but he wasn't quite close enough. And it's always the case. You try and have a look, and if it doesn't come off, it can compromise your exit speed and your approach to the next corner. So Max Hoffer is about to come across the line, still holding on to that 5th position.
Yep, and Luca Kamali needs to hook that run up at the correct point here, because if he does it at the wrong point, you then of course lose yourself more ground, more momentum, and the laps start to tick away as well. So Luca Kamali needs to be a bit smart about this and work his way onto the back of Max Hoffer at the correct point in this race, because Max Hoffer is now just commanding this place at the minute. In 5th place he still sits, and it's not going to allow Luca Kamali any chance to get through if he continues to do the place changes, or try and do the place changes in the wrong point. So we'll keep an eye on those two in 5th and 6th places. We've got now just a lap to go for Paolo Di Conto, who works his way in towards turns 11 and 12. He's about to be showing the last lap board as down the inside now goes Luca Kamali. That's side by side with Max Hoffer there. Luca Kamali on the outside line, and Max Hoffer has to let him go this time. So Luca Kamali thought about it. He got the job done at turn number 10. He now finds himself up into 5th place. What can Max Hoffer do to return the favour of getting back past? Nothing at the minute. And I've got to be wary of Lorenzo Van Wright as well, who has joined this fight for what's going to be 5th place. It's a 3-way fight on what's now going to be the last lap of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. That move was nicely done by Luca Kamali. He's been threatening it for some time to get past Max Hoffer, but I think it just compromised both of them. That has enabled, as you say, to 656 Lorenzo Van Wright to close right in on the back of them, and we kind of keep an eye on the monitors to see if there's any move coming back. The 3 of them are still joined together. There's no one joined to the back of our leader. He is probably not quite as dominant as he's had today, so Anthony Abbas has kept him fairly honest, but he's about to come across the line and take that checkered flag and take a 3rd victory. Fabulous performance, Paolo Di Conto. And have we had all changed? No, we haven't, but 616 Luca Kamali was able to just pull away and just leave Max Hoffer behind. That was what confused me for a minute. There was such a big gap in front of Max Hoffer. I thought we'd lost someone, but that's how far Luca Kamali got forward. In 3rd position was Robbie Markinen. 4th was Christian Magredo in 4th position, and also lead of the Masters. 5th position, 616 Luca Kamali, as we say, got himself past Max Hoffer to take that 5th position. Lorenzo Van Wright right on the back of Max Hoffer as they came across. Christoph Adams in 8th position, which also got him 2nd in the Masters category. 9th was Pascal Carrigue, and 10th was the Japanese driver Kawazi Tamakazu, who was also 3rd in the Masters. 11th, Gezar Fodor. That was the finishers, because unfortunately Samuel Kruska, Igor Mukin, Fabien Lanz and Henrik Baptista were not able to finish the race. That was the DD2 race 17 of the day. That was their last opportunity for those drivers in the heats today, and what a race.